Hello and welcome to today's Delta Credit Tip. Well, if you haven't heard, a couple of years back, Equifax had a little mishap and breached everybody's information. Well, the FTC's had enough and now they've made Equifax settle with all 147 million people whose information got hacked. Are you one of them? How do you get your money? What other things that you have to do to get your cash? Well, stay tuned, we'll tell you how on today's Delta Credit Tip. Hello and welcome back to today's Delta Credit Tip. So today we're talking about the Equifax breach in which they now have to settle with 147 million people whose information that they've hacked back in September of 2017. So you may have seen a lot about this on the internet. So today what we're going to do is we're going to kind of go through the motions on what you're going to have to do to file your claim, get your money, and be made whole. Now, before it even gets there, right? You don't have to pay to make a file, to file a claim. Okay, so sooner or later, we're gonna see it on the internet. Pay us $25 or $29.99 and we'll file your claim for you and see if you qualify for this Equifax settlement up to $20,000 you can get. Well, when you see the ad or you get the phone call telling them, we're a Delta squad, we don't need your help, we got this under control. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is get a copy of your credit report and start to go through it yourself. Okay, because you're going to have to first ascertain, are you a victim? And the chances of you being a victim is pretty high. Why? 147 million people got affected. In the United States in 2017, there was only 324 million people. So that's 45% of the population was affected. So basically 1 in 2. So between me, you, and the person you shared this video with, more than likely, 1 of the 3 of us got hit, if not 2 of us, right? So there's a very good possibility that you've been hacked. So what do? Well, we were going to show you how to go to the website to do this, but it's so simple. It's more work for me to record how to show you how to do it than for you to just go to either ftc.gov or go to equifax.com, search for, and it's going to probably be right there on their homepage, definitely on Equifax's website, and on the FTC, just type in Equifax breach and the links for everything that you need will be right there, and it's super self-explanatory. But so you kind of understand what's going on with that process, the first thing that you're going to have to do is figure out, are you deserving of a claim? And they will have a link where you can put in your social security number and then you can find out if you were a victim. My suggestion, don't take their word for it. Pull your own credit report on top of their research and check to see, well, what kind of inquiries have I had? What's been going on with my accounts? Or have you been a victim of identity theft from that time till now? Because there's really no way to isolate if you've been a victim yesterday if it wasn't as a result of what happened in 2017, right? So create some of your own evidence as well. And this evidence gathering as you go into this process is going to be super important, which we'll get to in just a minute, okay? So once it's been ascertained whether or not you're a victim, well, now you've got several options as to what you want to choose, okay? You can choose to have a 100, first off, you can choose between a cash payout or free credit monitoring, right? Now the credit monitoring is, they kind of break it down to how long you can get all 3 bureaus versus just Equifax, but basically it's a 10-year stint when you put it all together. So you can get basically free credit monitoring for 10 years, or you can get a $125 payout, okay? Now, more people are probably gonna wanna opt for the $125 payout, but recognize that that is significantly less than the cost of credit monitoring for 10 years. I'm just saying, but that's up to you. But the $125 that you can get is the basic settlement that they're giving people for the breach, which you can opt for. The second option is to be reimbursed for monies that you've spent, and they will pay you $25 an hour for up to 20 hours of time and monies that you've had to pay as a result of breaches of your contract. That means credit money that you've spent on freezing and unfreezing and account unauthorized transactions and that kind of thing. that is option number 2. Or you can get 25% of the credit monitoring service that you paid for from Equifax from September of 2016 to September of 2017. Okay. The third option that you have is to opt for free credit restoration services, right? So Equifax is now in the credit repair game because they've hacked 147 million people, and they understand that they've got some systems in place now to help you restore the damages that was done as a result of their hack. So those are your basic 3 options, right? Now, I want to preface this with the notion that you are going to have to prove your claim. Okay, this is a court matter. This is involving judges and everything else. So you can't just say, yeah, I'm a victim, and expect that they're just going to pay you. You're going to be subject to providing evidence that you've been a victim of this hack. So be prepared by either documentation that you may have gotten in the mail, or issues that you may have had, police reports you've had to file, anything that you can gather up as supporting evidence. You want to make sure you get that stuff collected up front, because you can opt in or file one of these claims through either the phone, internet, or by mail. Okay, so but really it's really more just by mail or email. You can go in and do it online, or you can mail it in. And at that time, they're going to be seeking from you the supporting evidence. So you don't want to submit the file and not be prepared to be able to prove your claim. And that's really another caveat that we want to mention. We don't want to replace fraud with fraud, right? So if you're not a victim, don't waste your time going in there and trying to make a claim, because that would be fraud and a felony, because this is a court matter. So if you feel like you're a victim of identity theft or been hacked by the Equifax experience, you're going to want to make sure to gather your documentation. Then my suggestion is go to Equifax.com or go to the FTC.gov. Go ahead and fill out that information. You've got until January 22nd of 2020, right? And so the clock is ticking, and you want to make sure you do this on time. Now, I want to end this with a huge caveat. There is still the option to opt out. So the question becomes, why would I opt out? Why would I not want to get my $125? Well, if you are really a victim of this hack, it may have cost you more than what they're willing to give, even with the $25 an hour at $20 hour stint, right? If you've lost the ability to buy a home and all the money that you put down on the appraisal, the inspection, and all that because something hits your credit right before closing, that's one example of where you lost a lot of money. And if you take advantage of this claim, this settlement that the FTC has demanded of Equifax, well, you're basically opting out of being able to sue them later on for more damages that you may have suffered. So you really want to do this with caution. If you are really a victim of identity theft, or your identity's been hacked and now you've got long-term issues that have spanned from this, you may want to seek legal help. We've got great attorneys that we work with both FTC, with both FCRA and FDCPA and TCPA violations. So if you're having an issue and you think you may need legal help, give us a call and we can refer you to one of our attorneys. They'll be more than happy to advise you, counsel you, coach you, and maybe even represent you in a larger claim later on. All right. So I hope this information helped. If so, give us that thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell so that every Thursday when we come out with more information, you get it right out of the gate, helping you in your credit restoration process. And hopefully this will help you make a choice, make a change. Delta.